Welcome back, YouTube, to another episode of the Slack and McCracken Sports Podcast. Now, it's been a couple weeks, things have been quiet. I've been working on a Sabres video, and we're getting to that, but today we had some breaking news coming from One Bills Drive, so I figured we'll just get this out of the way real quick, and then we'll transition into hockey. I figured working on the Sabres slowly, and then we'll get to it, but we'll just talk about the Bills here again real quick, and then we'll slowly work into hockey, and we'll probably be back and forth throughout the year. So, some breaking news happened. Ed Oliver got extended, former first-round pick back in 2019 for the Bills, defensive tackle. He gets extended. And also today, the Bills signed Leonard Floyd, outside linebacker, and edge rusher. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the Bills give former first-round pick Ed Oliver a brand new 4-year, $68 million deal with $45 million guaranteed at the signing. So now Ed Oliver will make $17 million per year starting in 2024 after his $10 million extension, or his $10 million fifth-year option expires after this year. And with that being said, he is now locked up until 2028 when he will be 31 years old. The Bills also, like I said, did just sign linebacker, edge rusher Leonard Floyd. He will be signed to a 1-year, $9 million deal. He comes over from the Los Angeles Rams and will join former teammates Von Miller and safety Taylor Rapp. And hopefully they will help the Bills win a Super Bowl. So, what exactly are my thoughts on these acquisitions? So, for starters, I do like the Leonard Floyd signing. I think that this will only help the Bills on defense. It'll help their pass rush, and it is certainly insurance for in case Von Miller can't come back week 1, because there's still uncertainty there with his torn ACL and when he'll be back, and are they going to give him the Tre'Davious White treatment, or are they going to let Von Miller be Mr. Optimistic like he always is and he's going to come back right away? Like, there's still an uncertainty there, so we don't know, but I think having Leonard Floyd, a guy who has veteran experience, he's been in the league since 2016. He spent 4 years with the Chicago Bears, a former first-round pick, went over to LA. He's generated more sacks in his time with the LA Rams. And with that being said, he has experience in the playoffs. He has experience winning a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl with Von Miller. So I definitely think that having that experience in your locker room, having that experience on the defensive side of the ball, and having another guy that can get to the quarterback, I certainly think helps, especially when Von does come back. And now you have Leonard Floyd. I think it's a steal of a signing, especially when it's this late in the offseason. It's June now. So I think to get a guy this late that can generate pass rush, that can fucking help make plays, I definitely think that this definitely helps us moving forward, and I think it's an upgrade on defense compared to what we had last year. But like I said, with Floyd, he was with the Chicago Bears for 4 years, and then he went out west, joined the LA Rams in 2020. And he had a combined 29 sacks in his 3 seasons with the Rams. He had 10.5 in 2020, 9.5 in 2021, and he had 9 this past year in 2022. Floyd, like I said, he can get to the quarterback, and having this late of an acquisition to get a guy like this, I think it's a good move by Brandon Beane. I have no issues with it. Now, our cap room is very, very tight. He is on a 1-year, $9 million deal, but I still think it's a steal. Considering that Floyd was still out there this late is surprising. I think he should have been picked up by now, or even I'm kind of shocked that the Rams didn't bring him back. I know the Rams didn't really have a lot of money, and they're in a full rebuild now after going all in for a Super Bowl, but it's still surprising to me that even with Taylor Rapp, like I said too, it's surprising to me that some of these guys are still out there, and I certainly think with teams extending their franchise quarterbacks, whether it's us with Allen or Mahomes with the Chiefs or Hurts with the Eagles, Lamar with the Ravens, it gets harder and harder to sign guys and keep guys, and now it's you got to bank on your draft picks, and you got to see what you can find out there, later on. You got to see what you can find, see if you can find a diamond in the rough that'll help you, kind of like in Moneyball. Find a guy who's cheaper, who can help you for as if you were going to pay a guy more money, but you're paying the guy cheaper. So I definitely think that it wasn't a bad move whatsoever. There's no wrongdoing there. Now, on the other hand, though, with the Ed Oliver extension, when I saw it, I was not thrilled about it, and I'm still not. And I kind of sound like a pessimistic with certain moves. Again, I know I'm not a general manager, but I certainly am not happy about it. And the reason I'm really not is because now Ed Oliver was going to play this year on a fifth-year option regardless. But what really, really upset me at the end of the year, after the Cincinnati disaster, he put on his Instagram story, "If you ain't talking money, I don't want to talk." And when I saw that, I got pissed. Because I don't know how you can sit here after that game, or even not just that game, like multiple playoff games that you've played in for the last 4 years, whether it was Houston your rookie year, or it was any of the games in 2020 with the Colts, the Ravens, the Chiefs, or the Patriots and the Chiefs in 2021, or this past year, Dolphins, Cincinnati. You know where I'm going. But I don't know how you can sit here and say, if you ain't talking money, I don't want to talk, I want to get the bag, blah, 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 when you haven't done anything in those big games. That, to me, does not make sense. And when you're an undersized defensive tackle coming out of college, you have a chip on your shoulder. And it's a disadvantage, but if you can work through it and you're good, I don't care. Right? Like, I don't care. But considering the fact that you haven't done shit, really, since you got here, you've been average at best, don't sit here and talk to me about money. You have to earn it. And I don't know, just us signing him after him not showing up, it bothers me. It bothers the shit out of me. Because to me, if it looks like kind of like a panic move, or it's an insecurity. Because the Bills, like I said before, and like we've seen, like looking on paper at the defensive tackle position, there really is no long-term future there. So, and Ed Oliver is 25 years old, so I'm not saying that he cannot break out. There is still a possibility that Ed Oliver could be good, and I'm praying now that he is good, or gets good, because if he's not, he's going to be a potential cap casualty. We're going to have to eat up that contract, and it's not going to be good. And you cannot sit here and make the wrong kind of move, or the wrong kind of pricing move, especially with Josh's contract, Von's contract, Dawson Knox's contract, Diggs' contract, etc., because then you're stuck. Or like even with the Broncos, with Russell Wilson, they're stuck with his contract. I'm not saying Ed Oliver's that expensive, but my point is we don't want to be stuck with guys of a high price tag if they're not going to contribute. That's not going to help us. And it would upset me it upsets me that we did this because Ed Oliver only showed up on Thanksgiving. But the thing is, when Ed Oliver showed up, it was awesome. It was like, holy shit, like here he is, but he would rarely show up, at least from what I saw. And I'm not trying to throw shade or disrespect. I just have not seen enough from Ed Oliver to sit here and give him $17 million per year starting in 2024. It's a 4-year deal at $68 million. He gets the $45 million guaranteed at the signing, the $17 million per year. I'm not seeing the logic here. I'm not seeing the logic in giving this guy more money when he hasn't shown up. It really does not make sense to me. It makes no fucking sense to me. And it doesn't help that you have other players at your position, at the same position, that were in the same draft class as you, same draft classmates, and not only that, they were in the same division as you. Quentin Williams with the New York Jets and Christian Wilkins with the Miami Dolphins. Both of them have played way better than you. They have shown up, and not only that, you're getting paid more than them, but they've shown up. And it just drives me crazy. It just drives me nuts. For example, this is just basic stats. Oliver, and when we're talking basic stats, I mean, I'm going like very basic here. I mean, tackles and sacks. Like, that's what you look at it in defensive linemen. How many tackles, how many sacks does he make plays? Oliver has 151 combined tackles on his career, 55 assisted tackles, and 14.5 sacks. Now, 14.5 sacks, okay. Quentin Williams, on the other hand, a third overall pick, 191 combined tackles, 73 combined assisted tackles, 27.5 sacks. Now with Miami, with Christian Wilkins, a 13th overall pick, 290 combined tackles, 124 assisted tackles, and only 11.5 sacks. But bro is all over the field. And I don't like Wilkins. Like, I don't. But he is all over the field. Even at his size, he's played edge for the Dolphins, defensive end, defensive tackle. He's all over the field for them, which explains the 290 combined tackles and the 124 assisted tackles. All came out at the same time. I just don't understand the idea that we're going to give Ed Oliver this giant contract. It seems like we're making something out of nothing here. And that bugs me. It's like you can't do that, especially in the salary cap era, in the salary cap league, in the Super Bowl era here. You cannot make something out of nothing. And that's, to me, what it looks like. Like it's an insecurity. And that just bugs me. Now, again, he is 25. There is still a chance that he can really break out. But we are going into year 5 of Ed Oliver. Year 5. And to me, you should have broken out by now, right? When we look at Josh Allen broke out in year 3, and he continued to progress, right? Allen had a not so good rookie year. Then he had a good second year, followed by a breakout season, and since then he's just been elite. Or even Dawson Knox. Dawson Knox's rookie year. Now, not the best tight end in the league, mind you, but I like Knox. But Dawson Knox, I'm pretty sure he led all rookies in 2019, or he led maybe even the whole league in drops from his passes. And he doesn't have the best hands in the world, but bro is a bulldozer when he does get the ball. He got better over time. Like in 2021, before he hurt his hand, he was leading all tight ends in the league in touchdowns. Like, he got better. Like, Gabe Davis, he's had his moments. I mean, I guess he's had his moments, but he's not there either, and that concerns me too, because if we're going to give Ed Oliver money and we're going to bang on potential, are we going to do the same thing with Gabe Davis? Gabe Davis has had his moments like Ed Oliver, but Gabe Davis, he hasn't done enough to be a number 2 receiver. He can't even catch 50% of his passes. So does that mean to tell me if you re-sign Ed Oliver, you're going to re-sign Gabe Davis to wide receiver 2 money? Because that wouldn't be good either. And my question is too, what would you do if you re-sign, not just Ed Oliver, you re-sign Gabriel Davis? Or you do the same thing with Gregory Rousseau, right? And Rousseau, I think, definitely does have potential, and I know it gets overused, but I definitely do think Rousseau has potential to be good. It's just when Von Miller was out of the lineup, he disappeared again, which was kind of a red flag. But I think Rousseau can. There's at least potential there. There's still hope there, I feel. Not with that Oliver. I just don't know what the plan is there long term. If you're gonna, because I know you like your players you draft. I understand that. To sit here and bank on potential and sign them long term. Well, what are you going to do if Dalton Kincaid gets really good? What are you going to do if Osiris Torrance ends up being a really good guard? Like, I just thinking towards the future here, what are you going to do when you need to actually really sign someone and you can't because you signed Ed Oliver, Gabe Davis, and Greg Rousseau just for them to be below average or just average? That just, to me, a little mind-boggling. I like the Leonard Floyd signing. I don't like the Ed Oliver signing. I don't. And I'm really not trying to show shade or disrespect. I think there is a possibility that Ed Oliver could still be good. He's only 25. But that's all we can really rely on. And since we let Tremaine Edmonds walk, now he's going to get paid a lot more to start per year than Ed Oliver's contract, which we've gone over. But to pay Oliver and not Edmonds, I don't know. Like, if I had to pay one or the other, I would rather pay Edmonds. I don't get paying Ed Oliver. I really don't. I don't get it. And I feel like it's going to be a cap casualty move. I feel like it's a panic move because they don't have a future there. Or the other thing I think about too with this Ed Oliver extension, looking at the Dawson Knox extension, the following year after extending Knox, which that contract kicks in this year, Kincaid is a rookie, first round pick. right after we re-signed Knox to $13 million or $14 million per year or $12 million, whatever the average annual is. But are we going to do the same thing at defensive tackle? I don't know. I'm not crazy about it, but again, if we win a Super Bowl, who cares, right? At the end of the day, but I don't know. I just think that we can't sit here and just bank on potential at $17 million a year. I don't know. That's just me, but again, I'm just a guy in a podcast. I'm not no GM. And I certainly think we've had a really good offseason, but there's some head scratchers like bringing back Dane Jackson, bringing back Cam Lewis, bringing back Dean Marlowe, which did happen a month or two ago. Again, those are depth guys, but those were guys that just drove me nuts last year. And again, they shouldn't have been in the positions they were in because of our injury bug, but I don't know. Ed Oliver, like $17 million a year. The way I see it is, you got this year to get it. If you have another normal Ed Oliver average year, fine. You're on a 5th-year option, $10 million, whatever. But in 2024, when you start making $17 million per year for the next 4 years, you need to show the fuck up. Like, that's just the way I look at it. It can't be for just Thanksgiving or 4 games. Like, no, you got to show up every fucking week if you're going to make $17 million a year. That's just my opinion, and I hope he works. Like, I want all of our players on our team to be successful, but it's just when a player hasn't been successful or just average, and I'm saying that because he was a first-round pick, 9th overall. That is a high pick. To just be average, it's not good. I don't know. It's just not good. So, I'm looking at Christian Wilkins and Quentin Williams too. It doesn't look good for Ed Oliver, even for himself, or Brandon Beane, because this could blow up in his face. But he's been good at manipulating cap and moving stuff. So, I don't know. It's a time will tell. It's a time will tell signing. It's a just have to wait and see signing. I'm not crazy about it, and I don't want to sound like a pessimistic fan. I hope it works out. He's still a young kid, and he's able to provide and take care of his family. But from a fan perspective, I'm not happy about it. But we'll see what happens. I think though, adding Leonard Floyd and you have a healthy Von Miller and Rousseau complementing that, and if Ed Oliver can get going. And Daquan Jones was good. You bring back Jordan Phillips, who's a nice depth piece other than his occasional encroachment penalties. You have Matt Milano. There's still an uncertainty at middle linebacker, but you bring back Hyde. You bring back Poyer for another year healthy. Tre'Davious White fully healthy. And whoever's at corner 2, hopefully it's Elam or Benford. There's the rookies still kind of do look promising. The defense is still pretty good. It's just going to depend on, again, can this team get over the hump? Can the coaching staff overcome the adversity of not getting past the second round? We'll have to wait and see, but it's just a simple video today. We're going to talk about the Sabres season review with the Stanley Cup Finals now going on with the Florida Panthers and the Vegas Golden Knights. I think it's time to really transition into hockey and talk about the Sabres, talk about where we're at and where we're going forward, because July's right around the corner, and that's free agency, and we're going to talk about the NHL draft. So hopefully we can get that going real quick here momentarily, and I'll probably have a horrible time pronouncing names, but what else is new? Other than that, though, this is Mike McCracken. I'm signing off here on the Slack McCracken Sports Podcast. Just a simple reaction, a simple rundown of the Ed Oliver extension and the Leonard Floyd signing, and look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.
Second down and 10. Here's Kyler to throw. And it's tipped and intercepted. Leonard Floyd down the sideline. And he's knocked out of bounds by Murray.
Leonard Floyd 6'5", and watch, you're going to see he's trying to get the ball to Zach Ertz, and the just elevation from Leonard Floyd to go up, tip it, and then make that play. Unbelievable.
Again, one of the guys with one of the Star Watch players. You see he's been rushing the passer for us.